Sitting down here to do a little talking update video, some big news. I think this is the first video I have ever filmed in my office. So, we got our check from winning last year, we got the old fishing hat, and a bunch of other things here in the office. But this is where I do editing, this is where I do my side job. I do still work a full-time job on the side. We're going to get into that later in this video. This video is going to cover everything related to professional bass fishing and all my thoughts on it, as well as we're going to talk through my boat is for sale. We're going to do a boat tour at the end of the video if you're interested in that, and how to get a hold of me, because we are selling it hopefully pretty soon here. So we're going to talk through that. We're going to talk through my past few years of tournament fishing, 3 professional years here that we have completed now. Have we made a profit? Has it been financially sustainable? We're going to talk through changes for 2026 that Major League Fishing has implemented, how that all came together, and some really cool, exciting things and improvements that were made. So we're going to talk through that in this video. We're going to compare it to sort of other fishing trails, Bass Master Opens, Bass Elites, NPFL, things like that. And yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. An office talk video. We're going to pull up my screen on my phone so I can show you guys here on the screen what I'm looking at, what I'm talking about. But the first thing I want to jump into is the changes for 2026. Major League Fishing changes and why it's important. So to start with why it's important, we're going to talk through the last 3 years of me fishing the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. The year that I qualified and got an invite was the year they changed it from Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit to Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. But I qualified, and then they extended invites to so many people to fill the field. And we pretty much filled the field that first year in 2023. Entry fees were $5,000. We had 6 tournaments, so 30 grand is what it cost to fish a season just in entry fees, and say two grand a tournament for travel expenses, hotel, food, gas, and you name it. So you're in it about $42,000 to fish a season of the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. So that's the first year. Now I'm going to pull up my phone here just to show you guys a little history of payouts and everything. But this was the first big drop in payouts. MLF, this was the previous FLW tour that MLF bought out. When they bought out FLW, they changed it to Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, and then it became the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals in 2023. And the payouts were decent. They were decent. It was 80 grand for first. We're just going to pull up the standings here. Well, let's go to a tournament so you can see the results in one of these 2023 tournaments here. So you can see on the right over there the payout. Hang on, this is 2025. We're going to go to 2023. Alright, 2023, first event of the year, Lake Okeechobee. It's $35,000 more if you own a Phoenix boat. So 80 grand for first is what it is unless you own a Phoenix. 50 for second, 20 for third, then it goes down. 10 grand for 11th through 30th place is decent, you know, 10 grand. And then 8 grand for 30th through 50th if we had a full field, which we did. So that's pretty good. 10 grand through 30th, 8 grand through, my wife's calling me. Pause. Okay, where were we? We are back now. Annie Mae woke up from her nap, so I forgot where I left off. As I was saying, 42 grand in expenses, entry fee, and travel to fish the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals. So that's what we're looking at in 2023. They paid 10 grand to 30th, 8 grand to 50th. 2023, where did we end up? Let's click on standings here. This is Annie Mae. You guys haven't seen Annie Mae in a while. She's eating a snack after her nap. Alright, Angler of the Year 2023, Annie Mae. Here's where Daddy ended up. He ended up in 45th in points. He made $24,000. So, and break even was 42,000. So we did not break even in 2023. Thank God for my sponsors. Helped make it okay. Like I said, I still work a full-time job outside of fishing and YouTube. Alright, let's jump to 2024. Payouts were the same. Entry fees went up to $5,500, I think, but 10 grand to 30th, 8 grand to 50th with a full field. Point standings, we had an excellent year. We got 6th. We won an event. We won $80,000. God is good. And we made $125,000 year number 2. Excellent year. Fantastic year. And you have contingencies on top of that. 10 grand for being the highest finisher in a Camus, winning in a Camus, things like that. So, amazing year. $42,000 were my expenses. Same payouts. 2025, they dropped the payouts. It went from 10 grand to 30th to now it's only 10 grand to 20th. And it's 9 grand to 30th and 8 grand was the rest of the payout. So, to 50th if we had a full field, but we only had around 100 anglers every event. So it was a little bit lower of a payout. They always pay out 1/3 of the field, but entry fees were still 500 more. They were 5,500, and the payouts went down. And first place was still 80 grand, but second they dropped from 50 grand down to 30 grand. So we lost 20 grand in the event, but they added in a championship, so it was still all good. It was all good. The first time we had a championship in 3 years, and I made the championship. It still cost, let's see, 5,500 event. That's 33 grand plus 12. What you need, honey? You need your cookie. Put your cookie there. So 45 grand in 2025 were break-even expenses to fish. Oh, you okay? So in 2025, you go down to Angler of the Year standings. We got 23rd. We made $33,000, which is exactly our entry fees back. But that does not include the championship. We ended up 7th in the championship, and that was another $14,000. So we got $47,000 in earnings and winnings in 2025. So we were ahead by $2,000 looking at it from a business standpoint. And that doesn't seem very good, you know. It's not, I made $2,000 after expenses. But thank God for sponsors, thank God for YouTube. We're able to do this full time. So that is what it looks like to fish professionally the past 3 years in the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals and finish 45th, 6th, and 23rd in Angler of the Year standings. So, in 2026, MLF came out with some pretty raw numbers. Originally, they were going to drop the entry fees back from $5,500 to $5,000, but they were only going to pay $6,000 to last check, and we're like, that's not going to cut it. There's no chance that's going to cut it. And we talked about it at the championship, and a lot of us anglers had the same thoughts. So we formed a group, and we ended up getting over 100, over 125 anglers in the group in 4 days, and proposed changes to MLF. And in the meantime, MLF picked up a new sponsor, and they raised the last check to $7,500, which is better than $6,000. And we sent some points to MLF, and we and MLF came together. We took the entry fees back to $5,500, what they have been, and we got the last check to $10,000. Yes! Say yes! So, now it's the best payouts in a long time to fish the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. They changed it back to 100 grand for first place. They're keeping the championship. If you qualify for the championship, they're taking top 40 in points after Angler of the Year, in the Angler of the Year race. Top 40 at the end of the year. You get $5,000 just for going. Entry fee paid. I believe it's 100 or 150 grand for first in the championship, but they pay 10 grand all the way down to 50th place if we have a full field. And they removed local jackpotting. No more local jackpotting as long as we have over 124 anglers to fish. So pretty good changes there. Annie Mae's excited. No, we have her a little video playing in the background so she can sit through and make it through this video. So that's pretty exciting. Really cool stuff. And they're filling the field up right now. I believe they just opened it up. So if you've ever wanted to fish professionally, this year might be your only year to get into the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit without having to qualify through the Toyotas. Because I believe they opened it up to all Toyota anglers this last week. So right now is your chance to sign up. They might even extend it beyond the Toyota down. So this is your shot. This is your year and to fish and to get in if you've ever wanted to do that. Call up Major League Fishing's office. Talk to Kevin. See if that's an option for you, because you want to get in before the field fills up. 10 grand the last check. It's going to be the best year to fish in the last 5 years. So that's pretty exciting. Comparing it to the MPFLs, they don't even release their payouts publicly. Like, I can't see what the checks were at the last few events to know. But what I've heard through the grapevine is it was pretty bad on the lower end of the payouts, like 6 or 7 grand for last check, which isn't very good. It might have been lower than that. I don't know any numbers, but I heard some things that made it kind of a struggle, kind of like MLF was gonna be, on making it work as a full-time professional bass fisherman logistically. So, also want to pull up on my phone something cool, is comparing it to the Bassmaster Elites. There we go. Let's share that on the screen. You want your cookie back? There you go, sissy. Alright, pulling it up. Bassmaster 2025. Now, you gotta take this with a grain of salt. Their entry fees were a lot lower than ours, but their last check, 50th place, was $5,500. Their entry fees are 1/3 of ours. I think they paid 10 grand last year. We paid 33,000. But their bottom check was 5,500. So yes, elites are the top tier tournament anglers, and what it takes to get there is super tough competing in the Bass Opens, and you can't really make much money in the Bass Opens at all. But once you get to the elites, it's great. But just like the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, you can make the Bass Pro Tour, and it's great. But being in the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit, you are competing for a lot more money in 2026 than you have been the last few years. So this is the year to do it. I think the field of anglers is going to fill up and then be even stronger in 2027. So excited for that. Very excited for that. And that's sort of opens it up to what it looks like fishing professionally, how much money I've made the past 3 years fishing. We had a really good year. God blessed us a ton. But it's not the most sustainable business model if you don't consistently fish really well or don't have sponsors in place to help you make it happen. So you need to maintain your sponsor relationships. That's very important. You need to market yourself on social media. YouTube's a big help, big presence. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to sell baits, and you got to be able to sell equipment. And your sponsors, unless they're just family friends or somebody wanting to help you out to fish, you need to be selling product for them. And you need to have sponsors you believe in, that you love their product, because then it's easy to do that. So that is what it looked like fishing the Tackle Warehouse Invitationals the last 3 years. And a little comparison to NPFLs and bass, not a big one in this video. I think Steve Chapman put out a video comparing it, a lot more in depth on YouTube here. Brett Carnwright put out a really good video. Kyle Cordiana put out a really good video. Others have probably put out really good videos that you can watch and break down all the little details. But I'm telling you, this is the best payout besides the Bass Elites and the Bass Pro Tour that you're going to find in fishing. Like I said, it's more payout than the Bass Elites, but the entry fees are more, so you can't really compare that too well. Anyway, you want to take them on a boat tour? We're selling our boat. We're selling our boat. So I'm going to take you in the other room here. I'm going to turn the light on. We just took off our boat wrap. We have many episodes to come out still. We have 2 entire tournament series to come out still. That's how behind I am on posting. Turn this light on. There we go, girl. There we go. Say yes. Yeah. Did you have a good nap? Yes. You're cute. We're behind on posting. You want to walk around, girl? You want to walk around? Here, you can walk around while I give them the old boat tour. There it is. You're going to see a lot of videos come out with our wrap still on the boat, but we just pulled the wrap off of the 2025 Camus. This is an amazing rig right here. Super clean, not a scratch on it. Looks so sharp. White and red theme. We're replacing the deck here. Brand new decking in the next 2 weeks for the new buyer. But yeah, this is what it looks like. White and red. Y'all check it out. It is spiffy. It is spiffy. It's going to be brand new looking with the new deck. Just incredible. That aqua traction decking. Yeah. What? Oh. You having fun, girl? You eating cookie? You trying to give him a cookie? Yeah. Tell him they need to buy this boat. And it comes with so many accessories. You have the live sweep turret right here, and you can have your transducer for live scope off of your trolling motor. That way you can spot lock and use it. And then we also have live scope on the trolling motor. That way, if you'd rather do that or have it in perspective mode, you can do that. It's a power pole move trolling motor, a beast. 3 units up front, 10-inch, 12-inch, 16-inch. And in the back here at the dash, we have 2 12-inch. Those are all echo maps, except the 16-inch is a GPS map. And it comes with all my mounts, my double folding mount on a bridge. It comes with a dual pivot mount. You can put those graphs any direction you want on the dash there. Comes with Epoch lithium batteries, a 300 amp hour, 12 volt cranking, accessories, all 5 units. That thing's a beast. And then 320 amp hours for the troll motor, never run out. 250. This is a Camus XS21. It's 21 foot 4 inches. It rides great. It is slick. So I wanted to show it to you without the wrap. We're selling it. Please reach out, fishingwithnordby@gmail.com if you are interested, or comment below and I'll reach out to you. We're about to start advertising it heavy. New stuff coming. Big news coming. What we're doing. Changes for next year. But we got to get this boat going. So I'm motivated right now on selling it, and if it's interested you, we'll make you a good deal. Up for changing things around if you don't want all those accessories, but that is what we're rolling with and what we're doing. So selling that. Some really big news for next year coming out in a video soon, once we get these other couple tournament series drops on YouTube. So be looking for that. We're going to get out of here for the day, though. Hope you enjoyed all those changes and me talking through those. I was kind of scatterbrained because my daughter woke up and she was sitting on my lap and all that. Andy May, she is almost 2 years old. It's crazy. Zeal is still sleeping, our twins, and yeah, it's good. So God bless y'all. I'm going to go take care of her and get out of here for the day. If you have any questions on what we talked about today, or if anything I said didn't make sense, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think of what I said. I want to know your thoughts on everything. But we're going to get out of here. God bless y'all. Andy May says bye. See y'all next video, Fishing with Norby.